First step in installing the Havik 120 is going to be backplate installation. Very simple. Take our backplate, make sure we've got correct side for AMD, center spacer, pop right in. We'll move the backplate into place, and 4 bolts will go through into the main chamber of the build. With the bolts coming through the front side of the motherboard, we're going to put 4 plastic spacers, one onto each. With the bolts and spacers in place, we're going to put in the retention bracket. Retention bracket for AMD does require assembly. If you take a look, it's actually the Intel brackets on the sides with the AMD brackets, and simply 2 screws in each corner to hold it together. Were it an Intel install, simply just the 2 Intel brackets would be put into place. And that will just go right on top of the spacers. And will be held in place simply with 4 thumb screws. And again, these are thumb screws. They are tool free. You don't want to over tighten them using a tool, you just want them snug. Installing the Havik's tower, simply a matter of putting it in place. You've got a crossbar that's going to go through, and the 2 screws will screw right down onto the retention bracket. With the tower of the Havik 120 installed, all that's left to do is install the fans. I've already installed the bottom fan, as you can see here. I've also installed the Y adapter and connected it to the motherboard. This is going to be a lot easier as the motherboard connection does sit behind the top fan on this particular motherboard. Fan installation, very simple. We've gone ahead and installed the rubber brackets onto the fan itself. Simple pull through, and you wind up with 4 nice vibration dampening mounts right there. And we're just going to sit the fan into place and pull those brackets to the side, make things a little easier. And the rubber is just going to feed right through the first slot of the heatsink and pop right into place. Really that simple. As I said, these are very nice to work with, very easy to work with, much less cumbersome than a metal fan clip, at least in my opinion, and gives you that really nice vibration damping up here. So the NZXT Havik 120 install, very simple, very complete. It does have a couple of quirks with the AMD mounting, not with the Intel mounting. Intel install, very simple and basically runs along the lines of everything we've shown. There are 2 little quirks with the AMD mounting, and let's take a look at them. The first problem with the AMD mounting on the Havik 120 is actually a very minor problem. The installation instructions do state that it is 90-degree rotatable. That really is not the case. Front to rear firing is not so much an option. As you can see, you've got the crossbar which runs across and attaches to the retention ring. The problem you have, the sidebars are below the top and bottom bars. So the bolt sticking up is actually a bit shorter. When you attempt to attach the center crossbar, what's going to happen is one side flexes out and it's far too far away from the other side to actually make contact without damaging the motherboard. It requires far too much stress on the motherboard to be done safely. The much larger problem I ran into on the AMD install, taking a look at the backplate, you've got some very nice thick isolation pads here for the Intel install. That doesn't occur on the AMD side. On the AMD side, it's nothing but thin plastic sticker which is applied, which in most cases would be fine. Problem being, as you can see, you've got a row of solder points running down here that the backplate is going to sit right against. I actually had to take the cutouts of the stickers and apply them because these solder points sticking up are actually touching the sides of the backplate. This would dead short the motherboard. So that is a huge issue. You're going to have to take a careful look. Make sure you're not shorting your motherboard when you install this backplate. This, like I said, was not an isolated incident. It happened on 2 separate AMD motherboards.